All right, ladies and gentlemen, good Wednesday morning. Let's go ahead and throttle up, get airborne for day 3 of our full throttle quarterly full throttle training and trading. Hopefully everybody had a good morning, knocked out my yoga, my meditation, took my morning brief, our Maverick Mind product that we produce with microdoses. If you haven't started microdosing yet, what are you waiting for? You need to get airborne, man. Heal your mind, body, and soul. Quick reminder, a couple of people reached out yesterday and said, hey, the merch, where do you get the merch? The No Fallen Heroes Foundation merch. So let me give you the link. Great guy, wife, family, Chad and Carrie from Mental Joe. So you can go to Mental, I'll give you the link right now, but you can order the hats. You can either do regular camo hats or the white. This is a great, hoodie sleeve right there. And then obviously the Maverick Mind t-shirt, man. So let's go ahead and give you that link. So if you're looking for some merch to support our foundation, 100% goes, Chad just, shipping and handling type of thing. Everything else goes to pay for healing grants. Rick, the hoodie, the sweatshirts will be coming out in a month. We're rotating out of the summer stuff, and then we'll get the sweatshirts back. Absolutely. Yep, it's on the flight schedule. Getting ready for a hurricane down here in Florida. Hopefully, hurricanes suck. Yeah, there are double XLs, Mike. Shoot Susie an email. Susie, S-U-Z-I, at TOPGUNoptions.com. She can hook you up. We specifically got a couple double XLs made, especially for Robert Gallery, the guy, the football player I did the medicine with the first time. Big dude. So yeah, email Susie and she'll hook you up. So, okay. So not that a hurricane hitting anywhere is good, but if it hits the armpit, no offense to anybody who lives there, the armpit of Florida isn't that bad. I use it as a gas stop. I launch out of here in my L39 and I stop in a place called Cross City, which is literally in the armpit there of Florida. Ain't nothing but trees, and Pensacola's over there, the Naval Air Station, a lot of military, Eglin, Holbert Field. There's a lot of military bases up there. So hopefully, and it's a Cat 2 right now. I think they might even say it might be a Cat 3. So pretty dangerous things spinning towards Florida. Couple of other things before we get airborne. Renato, Trade SPY, Can Your Skills. Yeah, man, you can apply anything that you learn here to Top Gun Options to crypto, bonds. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And remind me, Renato, if I don't cover it today, I will try and cover it today, but I will tell you why I do not trade SPY. I would strongly recommend not trading SPY. You should trade SPX. Why? I'll tell you why. And it'll pay for your membership. Let me tell you right now. So folks, first of all, SPY, if you're trading options on SPY, what do the options settle in? Shares. So if you're trading SPY options, you can be assigned shares, either short or long SPY. If you are trading an index like the SPX, you cannot be assigned. It settles in cash. That is fantastic. But the number one reason I do not trade SPY, I trade SPX, is tax treatment. You get better tax treatment trading SPX than you do an ETF trading SPY. There are people who have sent me emails that have said, dude, when I looked into that, you paid for a couple years of my full throttle membership. You're welcome. Do not trade SPY, trade SPX. Okay, a couple other quick admin items. You have got to do me a favor right now. We got 699. We need a hell of a lot more than that. Our No Fallen Heroes channel. This is where we post all of our content for our foundation. These podcasts, folks, will blow you away. The healing that you will see that I interview people on: losing religion and finding spirituality. Donna just did this one the other day with Susie. Her son, you ready for this? Her son passed away of a drug overdose. The next day, he was supposed to be flying to Mexico to sit with the medicine to heal his addictions. I met Donna at yoga, sitting outside of yoga as I'm almost dying. And we just struck up a conversation. And what do you do? No Fallen Heroes, psychedelic assisted therapy. She's like, my son died from fentanyl poisoning. He was a drug addict. We were trying to get him help. He had plane tickets to leave the next day to go down to Mexico to sit with that medicine to heal him. I'm like, oh my God. And she said, yeah, it was 5 years ago. I'm having a really tough time. We talked about psychedelic assisted therapy. Guess what Donna went and did a year ago? She went and sat with psychedelic assisted therapy and reconnected with her son and has done an incredible amount of healing. Please subscribe to the No Fallen Heroes YouTube channel and check out the content here, folks. 2 weeks ago, I did a podcast with this guy, 30-year law enforcement officer. You want to talk about a big dude? This guy is a brick shithouse. 15-year Atlanta police officer, 15 years Suffolk County, saw some horrific trauma, really bad injuries. 2 years ago, found healing with psychedelic assisted therapy. A 30-year law enforcement officer. I can't tell you how many, but there's more than one and less than about 15 on our list who have applied. Active law enforcement officers, state troopers, deputy sheriffs, police officers who want to do this medicine under the radar to heal. I want that to sink in with you. Okay, so do me a favor, go right now, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I want to see this number go up by the end of the brief. If I come back and it did, I'm going to choke everybody in here. Yeah, you can. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, wherever cool kids listen to podcasts. You can. Here it is right here. Here's the Apple Podcast link to the Max Afterburner podcast. Working out, sitting in traffic, throw on a Max Afterburner podcast, and it'll blow you away. I guarantee you. There is some incredible stuff in here, man. Just great content. Just this one will make you cry, but in a happy way. Breaking 30 years of sexual trauma with psychedelic assisted therapy. Why am I starting the accelerated retirement brief talking about this? Because this is the only sector I am bullish on for the rest of my life, period. I have a shitload of my personal wealth in this sector. Not only investing in publicly traded psychedelic companies, but a docu-series, a microdosing company, Renata, I can talk about that in a second here, and a REIT, a Healing Realty Trust. It's called Healing Realty Trust, folks. When, not if, psychedelics become legal eventually for people to use, you're not going to go to your regular doctor's office and sit on a table with wax paper and National Geographics from 1982 on the table and take psilocybin for an 8-hour journey. It's just not going to happen. We launched a Healing Realty Trust, and we have about $200 million worth of properties around the U.S. that we are scooping up because commercial real estate's imploding and creating these healing centers. We, being the smart people that we are, bought a shitload of property around 11 of the VA hospitals. Why? Because thankfully the VA is actually leading the fight with veterans and getting us healed with psychedelic assisted therapy. So, and we're going to talk about that stock, one of those stocks today. So we got a lot to cover, man. Good stuff going on. I'm not going to sell anymore, man. This morning, 17. There are 17 memberships left. Here's the link. Ain't going to sell anymore, folks. If by day 3 of all of this free trading and training, you can't decide to join, don't join because you don't know what you're doing. It's just, I can't. Maybe I should go back to just giving an hour of PowerPoint with 152 PowerPoint slides like other people do. I don't. So there you go. I'm done selling. Here you go. Do the max annual, folks. a bunch of people. That's, that's 50% off the monthly hunters. If you want to kick the tires and check out our investment club, that's what you do. Do this for 2-3 months and go, okay, the guy's not a complete idiot. I love the TGO members. I'm getting great trades here. Upgrade into the annual. The middle here is the tire kicker, $295 a month. You don't get access to our investment club, but you get all these live trade briefs that you're getting to see right now. Any questions about any of this stuff? Because we have so much to cover today, and I want to keep us on time. We good? All right, let's go. Throttle up. Mumbles McShitty pants at the UN yesterday. So all the world leaders are in the UN for the whatever conference. China lights off a ballistic missile in ICBM. The launch of a long-range intercontinental ballistic missile, obviously carrying W warheads, lands in the Pacific. So I don't know who the other day was. It Monday when I said in the next 4 years China will take back Taiwan? You can guarantee it. And somebody's like, that will not happen. I guarantee you that's going to happen, if not sooner. Guarantee it's going to happen. Lighting off an ICBM as everybody, all the world leaders are hanging out in New York trying to kumbaya. Was that a coincidence? China believes that they own the Pacific Ocean. Under Barack Hussein Obama, they took ships full of dirt, went in the middle of the Pacific at low tide, where these atolls are, dumped the dirt, paved it, and made it a runway and put missiles on it. Now China. Oh, okay. What did we do about it? Nothing. I am telling you, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, it's a former Pentagon official. Timing is everything. This launch is a powerful signal to intimidate everyone. As Kamala, as Joe, as all the neo-libs in this country now froth at the mouth about Russia, 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 Putin, Putin, Putin. China is the threat, folks. Tim Walz, running for vice president, has visited China like 30 times. Hunter Biden used to fly with his dad on Air Force Two to go to China to do nice secret deals and then pay the big man. This is our mortal enemy. We are already at war with China, but these people lighting off a ballistic missile yesterday, when everybody's at the UN, oh, they're our friends, folks. They're not going to take back Taiwan. Okay. Israel intercepts first missile Hezbollah fired at Tel Aviv. Holy shit. Militant group says the missile was targeting the Mossad headquarters. China launching ICBMs. Hezbollah launching ballistic missiles. The fucking world is on fire. Weakness invites aggression. But I'm sure Kamala's going to do just fine. Wow. Absolutely. It's absolutely believable, but man, the Middle East is on fire. This isn't, hey, we're inching closer to war. This is a full-blown war. Israel has flown like over 5,000 hours in 5 days and just leveling this place. Really interesting, folks. Hezbollah is begging Iran to attack Israel. Like, hey, big brother, where are you? How many times have I told you? Iran, they're cowards, right? Iranians, not the people, the leaders, are fucking cowards. They will fight to the last Gazan. They will fight to the last Hezbollah soldier. That's how brave they are, as they just sit back. As I've told you, proxy wars are for cowards. We are cowards. Governor Shapiro signing a bomb that's going to go kill some Russians in Ukraine. Well, Wiz, at least our kids aren't dying. Oh, that's right, because our kids are exceptional. Our kids are better than Ukrainian kids and Russian kids, right? No, wait, Americans aren't exceptional. Which one is it? Where are we? Are we exceptional or we're not? It's better that other children are dying and not ours. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, the reason Iran is not getting involved right now is what? Say it with me. Iran is waiting for a President Harris. Iran is biding time to get a nuke. When, not if, they get a nuke, Israel will cease to exist. I guarantee you. What do you think the volatility index is going to do? What do you think the market is going to do when a nuke goes off? Unbelievable. Too bad there weren't more pagers. Scott joined Solo Amazon a while ago, just joined Full Throttle. Glad to be aboard, Wiz. Welcome aboard, Scott. Awesome. Rick, well, so what do we do, Rick? Because Rick just said, well, then Iran would cease to exist. Is that what happens? If Iran lights it, says Israel, boom, you're gone. What do we do? Do we vaporize Iran? That's not going to happen. I guarantee you that's not going to happen either, especially under a President Harris. So anyway, folks, can you believe that we're sitting in a live trade brief on September 25th, 2024, talking about China, talking about the Middle East, and also obviously, exactly, Rick. But here's the deal, Rick, you got to know it's going to happen, right? Iran ain't going to be lobbing an ICBM from Iran over Iraq through Jordan into Israel. That's not how it's going to go down. I got buddies at three-letter agencies, let's just say, container ship, baby, 18-wheeler. It ain't going to be a missile, folks. Iran will deliver a nuke in a container ship or in an 18-wheeler or on a FedEx flight or whatever it is, folks. It doesn't have to be an ICBM. So Israel might not even know about it, Rick. In the blink of an eye, Israel gone. Multiple bombs throughout Israel, nukes, tactical nukes that go off. I'm a fighter pilot. I'm an options trader. I contingency plan. I map out everything bad that can go wrong, so it's not a surprise when or if it does, and I am ready to potentially profit. If you hate talking like this, like potentially profiting off of bad, leave. Just like Gordon Gekko said in the movie Wall Street, if you want a friend, get a dog. I'm going to teach you how to make money. And this stuff is, let me end this part of the brief with, it's going to get worse. So the Kursk, the Battle of the Bulge, right? Ukraine pushed into Kursk. Well, we did that because Russia's going to pull troops back from the other places. And, it didn't happen. Russia didn't pull troops from anywhere. As a matter of fact, all the way down in the east, they went deeper. So they're about to lose a major Ukrainian. You're not seeing any of this, are you? All you saw a month or two ago was, wow, flash invasion in the Kursk, and the old guy still got it, Zelensky, and threw a punch. To what end? So you punched up here, and they did this down here. Here we go, man. So, it's just unbelievable. As confirmed by both Russian and Ukrainian sources, the Russians have entered Volodar, a key Ukrainian stronghold at the junction of eastern and southern fronts. The potential effect of its capture is hard to overstate. But here we go, folks. War in the Middle East, war in Europe, war coming in the Pacific. China stocks continued to rally today after the PBOC, the People's Bank of China, jumped in to save, I'm not even going to say capitalism, whatever it is they have, their markets. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. We talked about this yesterday, but I know there are some new people in here. Whenever you see a central bank jump in to save whatever is going on, you buy it with both hands. Whether it's Jerome Powell at the bottom of the COVID crash, the PBOC yesterday, you buy it. Now, I'm going to be perfectly clear, folks. I haven't used this analogy this week, but we're all old enough to remember good times, right? Was it good times? No, Sanford and Son. Oh my God, Fred Sanford, Sanford and Sons. Fred Sanford. Once an episode, he'd grab his chest and say, Lamont, I'm coming, Elizabeth, you big dummy. This is the big one. He always had the big one. He was right one day, but there will be a big one when markets finally go, it's over with. We know this is all bullshit. You're printing money out of thin air to prop up markets. Right now, it's okay because everybody in the Hamptons and Wall Street and Chicago and London, and they're all kind of elbowing each other like wink, wink, nod. We know it's bullshit. I call it a MacGyver market, right? This thing is up here on a paper clip and a straw and a spark plug. It's bullshit, but everybody knows that. Like you've heard a couple times this week, trade the market you have, not the one you want. Not that I want a down market. I don't like people hurting. I don't like people losing money. That's whiz talking. As Gordon Gekko, I love down markets. I love blood in the streets. I love when stupid people lose money because I'm usually on the other side of the trade. I love panic in the market. As an options trader, you should love volatility and panic. Okay? So let me complete this rant with when you see a central bank jumping in to save capitalism, you buy it. Well, Wiz, the Chinese economy sucks and their regional banks and this shh. You're not listening to me. You didn't listen to my brief yesterday when I said this once beautiful, it's still a beautiful bookcase, when this bookcase had tons of books on trading and investing and charting. They're all gone. They're not needed. All of that ended in 2008, and I was reminded of why it ended in 2020, when the Federal Reserve said, you know what, we're going to have to jump in here there is a Federal Reserve put underneath this market until there isn't. And when, not if, that put or that safety net breaks, that'll be one of the, we made $2.5 million ish in about 2 to 3 weeks in the COVID crash. It was filthy. That should happen again. I don't know if it will, because again, it's a self-licking ice cream cone. The Hamptons crowd, Jamie Dimons, they all need the markets to keep going up. So actions like this, everybody looks and kind of chuckles like, man, everything's so shitty right now that they had to do this. Cha-ching. I showed you the other day one of the most disgusting charts I've ever seen. I'm just going to show you again because I ain't no Kamala Harris class warfare guy. I'm technically part of the evil 1%. Most of the people in this room are also part of the evil 1%, aren't you? But look at this. Since 2020, Q1, COVID crash, our debt has increased $12 trillion. Now, look at this photo. The blue line is our federal debt. The red line is the evil Hamptons 1% crowd and their net worth. The green line is the 99% of schmucks in this country. Again, I'm not some class warfare guy. I got mine, right? Most of the people here at TGO got theirs too. But I'm ranting about this, folks, because of the Chinese, what's going on. When they do this, when they jump in to save capitalism, it helps us, the evil 1%ers in the market. Total net worth held by the top 1%. Total net worth held by the bottom 50%. The rich get richer when central banks do this. The poor get poorer. FXI had by market close yesterday, it was up 10%. Now, I was going to drop this in here to talk about filling the gap and maybe what's half the gap here? Yeah, folks, I don't want to get tactical right now. I'll get tactical in a couple minutes, but before I forget, gap up. If something gaps up and makes a head fake to fill the gap, but doesn't, it's bullish. You buy it. If something gaps up and fills the gap and goes lower, pound it into the dirt, it's bearish. Look out below. There's your technical analysis brief. For now, when we get tactical in a couple minutes, we have a lot to look at from Chipotle, Microsoft, but I think a synthetic stock on FXI, why not? For all the reasons I just gave you all the commit criteria. Okay. We're hovering up here like we talked yesterday. We placed a bearish double vertical on SPX out to October. We're in a hover right now, folks. We kind of edged. What's SPX doing? We're essentially flat for the day. This is Hoverville, man. We're hovering, and I expect us to pull back to probably that 20-day moving average. Okay, so we're hovering up here, but there you go. Look, Chinese shares rally again, right? Microsoft. So Google filed a EU antitrust complaint against Microsoft, accusing it of abusing its market. I love when these, the limousine liberal companies eat each other. Is Microsoft even sneezing at this? No, it's not even, doesn't even care. Google's in so much trouble with its own stuff that it's comical. Google L. So, but I did, we'll see if we talk about Microsoft, Chipotle, or FXI here in a little bit. The tactic I'm going to show you, you can copy and paste to any of the three names I think we should get long-term bullish on. We talked about this yesterday. Go watch the replay, but potential buy point with Visa. Yesterday, it was reported that the DOJ was going to hit him with an antitrust suit, and by close of the market yesterday, the DOJ filed against them. So let's go look at Visa. So there's the news yesterday, gap down, and we're kind of melting here. Absolutely keep an eye on Visa. It is not going out of business. It takes years for Uncle Sam to get to a point of a decision. Let's look at a 10-year chart of Visa. Anybody see a trend? The trend is your friend. They will not put Visa out of business. It is integral to the economy in this country. Over the past 10 years, Visa's up 345%. I ain't looking at it now. It's on the top of my whiteboard. But, you get back down, like we said yesterday, to this 260, 250 level, I would consider buying it. Yeah, exactly. Wait till the Pelosi's buy it. That's a good one. Good point. We already talked about this week. The Fed is flying blind. Nobody cares. This whole soft landing talk, and it's a joke. It's a joke. They're already living out into the future. What are we going to get in November? What are we going to get in December? I think we're getting 75 before the end of the year. I think we're getting a full point before the end of the year. My God, man. It was a couple days ago. Let's digest. No, rip your face off rally. All right. I'm here for it if that's what we're doing. We already talked about that. The Fed I can get rid of that. We already talked about that. We talked about FedEx, man. The day after Jerome Powell said that everything's great, FedEx came out and said everything's horrible. Who do you believe? Who do you believe? A publicly traded company whose CEO and CFO would go to jail if they misstate the financials or they sign them, man. Just like I signed for my fighter jet when I went flying, they sign their financials now. Frank and Dodd, right? Dodd-Frank. Does the Fed chairman go to jail when they make a mistake? Does Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, does anybody remember for 2 years the inflation's transitory? If you did a shot every time Joe, Janet, and Jerome and Kamala and Sideshow Bob, the press secretary, said inflation was transitory, you'd be dead. Apparently, just like they redefined the definition of a word woman, they redefined the definition of transitory. They also redefined recession. Do you recall 3 years ago, we had 2 negative quarters of GDP growth, which is the definition of a recession. And for the next week, everybody from Joe to the last Hitler Youth said what? No, not this time. It's not a recession anymore. That's when I mean, it's been a joke. The past 4 years, not a joke, but you know what I'm getting. When you're in charge, you just change the definition of words. Americans are falling behind on their bills. Wall Street is alarmed. This is clearly fake news, Wall Street Journal. And according to Hillary, you should be thrown in jail. Wall Street is not concerned. Everything's great. Jerome Powell said everything's great. Everything's great. Okay, everything's great. Microsoft opening up 3 Mile Island again. Why? Because they need more power. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a terrorist target. If you're a dude sitting in a cave with your sandals on, I'd be like, of course the power grid's going to go down, folks. How many times? Just Google New York City blackouts. Google what happens in New York City when there's a blackout. Could you imagine today's New York City full of millions of illegal immigrants? Turn the lights off in New York City for 5 hours at night, and it'll make the Joker movie look pleasant. Okay, we have a lot of things to talk about, and not a lot of time. I'm doing this for the free people. This is the only sector I would buy with both hands right now, folks. The psychedelic sector. I can't give you my brief. You got to go listen to the podcast and all my all the videos and stuff like that. Go take a look at my Instagram. This sector is saving and changing lives. I don't care what happened to MDMA 2 months ago. The FDA is the tool of big pharma, period. I've been to DC. Look at my Instagram. I've been told behind closed doors by a congressman, Wiz, we love what you're doing, but you're going to have a problem with the big pharma lobby. And also them tobacco and alcohol folks. Me? Isn't that your job? So, lead follower, get out of the way. These companies like, let me give you you got to buy all these with both hands right now. Here's because we have other stuff I want to trade. But since we are in accelerated retirement, MindMed, MNMD. Somebody asked about it at the beginning of the brief. MindMed, buy it with both hands. I rarely trade options on stocks under 10 bucks. Why? They're an option. If they're under 10 bucks, that's an options contract. Buy the shares. I would mortgage the house, sell the wife and kids, and buy MindMed. Or you can. This is actually, I haven't looked at MindMed options in a long time. They do have leaves now. Holy shit, folks. Look at the at the money, to Jan 27, the at the money leaps in MindMed. Folks, Google MindMed or look at on your brokerage platform and see the studies that are going on. The phase 2 studies with MM120. This is a it's a $50 stock, folks. I guarantee you. Okay. There you go, Gary. I have 24 shares of Cybin now. 100 shares of after the reverse split. Exactly. So MindMed, Compass. Write these down if you're new to TGO, folks. These are all the psychedelic names I would buy with both hands. Compass, $6, $7. A tie, $1 or something, a buck. Go buy a tie. And then Cybin, the laggard of the group, $10. Okay, they did a reverse 1 in a million split. Now they should be coming out with options soon. So get ready for Cybin. Those are the 4 names I would buy today with both hands. Okay. Still, you can buy it, Barry. It's still sitting down there. If you want a basket of if you want a basket of psychedelic names, it's SIL. This is the ETF, folks. This has a little bit of all the names I just listed. If you don't want to pick one of those 4 stocks or all 4, go do SIL if you want. PSIL. This is the psychedelic ETF. SIL, short for psilocybin or psilocin. Now, Let's sit up straight and listen to me. Warning. These are absolute lottery tickets. These psychedelic publicly traded companies burn through cash. These are biotechs, folks. These are biotech firms. If you've traded biotechs before, you know what? You're either going to be filthy rich or broke. There's rarely an in between. I will tell you, those are the four names that are pretty established right now. And when SIL, MindMed or Cybin, some of these studies that are doing, the MM120, folks, my God, 40 million Americans suffer with general anxiety disorder. MM120 is like, yeah, we cured just about everybody in the study like 2 months later. One dose, one treatment. And unlike MDMA, this was one of the big failures with trying to legalize MDMA with the FDA. Rick Doblin, bless his heart, threw a shit ton of psychotherapy into it. I get it. Maybe Uncle Sam will really think it's okay. Because not only do you just take this and you feel great and it gets rid of some trauma, but you lay on a couch for 20 hours and talk to somebody about it. They have to love that. FDA, denied. We don't give a shit about people laying on a couch. We are the Federal Drug Administration. We want to know dosage, weight, side effects. Boom, take it. We're pharma, baby. We're not some dudes wearing a drug rug and have a Buddha in the room. We don't care. Every publicly traded psychedelic company saw all of this going on with MAPS, with Lycos, with Rick Doblin. All of the CEO of MindMed, when he came out with the MM120 results 6 months ago, said what? It was a public poke. Oh, and by the way, we did all of this with no laying on a couch or psychotherapy. It wasn't even a veiled swing. It was a punch. Okay. I got to move on from that. We can do our own entire psychedelic brief, folks. But since I want to talk about other things, I had to get that out of the way. Okay. Psychedelic names, folks. Here's what I believe to my core is going to happen. If you are the CEO of Pfizer sitting in your headquarters on the top floor with your cigar, reading your Wall Street Journal, or Moderna, or Johnson & Johnson, or Eli Lilly, there is no way on God's green earth you're going to let these little companies heal people with one treatment. You're going to grab your pen and your massive checkbook, and you're going to swoop in and buy them all. I go to the conferences, I talk to these people, I know it, I see it. I can be 1000% completely wrong, and I would be shocked. When I was at Psychedelic Science last July, July 23, there was a lot of dudes running around with khaki pants and polo shirts. I'm like, well, those are either feds or pharma plants. And, actually you can't tell the difference between them because it was probably both. Any questions on the psychedelic sector? Let me close with this. Sabra. How many of you will give me a hell yeah whiz with Sabra? This, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about in April. Since April, you have made 43% on Sabra. If you're sitting here going, oh man, I missed it. No, you didn't. This thing is going to the moon. Oh, and by the way, 6% dividend. Not only are you printing money with the stock, you are printing money with the dividend. I'm not a big dividend dude, but when you're talking about something like it's 6%, that's obscene. Buy Sabra. What is Sabra? It is a gateway drug for investing in the REIT, Healing Realty Trust. Okay. So folks, 18 of you got in to the REIT. You invested in the REIT, and that was great. I'm trying to find out where my REIT PDF is. I already gave you a brief on the REIT. We are buying properties. you know, where people can do healing and blah, 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 blah. Is this it? Investment proposal. Nope, not that one. Anyway, I don't need to show you this, but what I'm saying is if you wanted to get into something like the REIT, it would be Sabra. Okay, my buddy Cody's like, dude, Sabra, if people want to, when the REIT, Healing Realty Trust, goes public, you will, we will be trading that. But where the hell is microdoses? Where is Healing Realty Trust? Give me 1 second because I wanted to show this. Oh, real quick before I go past this PDF, look at this Oppenheimer report. Back when, look at this. This is in February, folks. MindMed was at $4. It was at $5. Their price target, 12 to 18 months, is $25. Why? Because of MM120. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't listen to Wiz, listen to Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer says this is a $25 stock in the next year, MindMed. It's at 6 right now. They are projecting the sales of MM120 and the approval. Dude, I should have shared with you this Oppenheimer report. Don't listen to Wiz, listen to Oppenheimer. Renato, the min to buy into the REIT was, as an angel initially, it was 25 grand. Then it went up to 100. And then they closed it to retail folks. And now it's completely closed. They were taking accredited investors at $1 million. Now it's all institutions. We just closed another deal with Piper for another 50 million bucks. So the original angels are super, super happy. This was when we were just getting it off the ground years ago. But it's closed unless you got, you know, millions and millions of bucks. Damn it. I'll find it. But here's why I'm bringing this up, though, because of Sabra. Where is it? Healing Realty Trust. Healing REIT. Let me see if it's in here. Private placement. Oh, here it is. Good. Investor presentation. I wanted to bring this up because it'll show you. Let's go 100. So yeah, I love, you know, real estate for tomorrow's medicine, right? So the maybe I'll email this out or something like that. Obviously closed, like I told you, but this is giving you the commit criteria. The reason I'm bringing this up is because every one of these slides is the commit criteria for being long-term bullish in the psychedelic space, not just in a REIT, but it steps through everything like this. But let me get down to the bottom and show you and we're scheduled to go public Q2 of 25 or 26. But let me get down to this. Where is it? It showed our potential competitors or people who could jump into the space. Nobody is doing this yet. The only other folks in this space that are doing what we're doing is Sabra. They saw what we're doing, like, whoa, these guys are and they started they're right behind us, folks. So when we go public, I would sell Sabra and I would trade our stock. Whatever. It's in here somewhere. Or maybe it's in the newer deck. Okay. So anyway, I would buy Sabra with both hands. You could do a covered call. You could buy the shares and sell upside calls against it. You could go out and do some sort of spread up here. You know, there's a lot of activity up here at the 20 and 22.5 strike, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But tremendous upside in Sabra. Go do your own research, but this is that the health and wellness sector, folks, is it not going to explode? It is exploding. The health and wellness is just, so there you go. There was an upgrade a week ago. Citigroup, upgrades the price target from 17 to 20. So another reason that thing's zipping higher. Okay. All right. Any questions on the psychedelic space? Anything that? Okay. Two things. So for existing members, quick debrief from last week in accelerated retirement. Let's go cover what we looked at. If you're not a member yet, this is what the website looks like. And obviously, the app is on your phone. All the stuff appears on the app as well. Oh, yeah. So we did everybody, let me get a hell yeah, the Starbucks Iron Condor. So we had a 2-week Starbucks Iron Condor that went right through the uprights for max profit. Okay, it was a 100% profit. If you kept it, you made 100% profit, but you shouldn't have kept it because in an Iron Condor, you have 2 spreads. You have 2 credit spreads. You have a bear call and a bull put. When they hit 7, 8, or 9, you should have closed it. So don't tell me you took 100% profit because you failed. I'm kidding. You do what you want to do in your airplane. Okay. And we actually talked last week about doing Saber. We looked at an April bull call spread. We went as far out as we could on the options chain, and we placed a 20 to 22.5 bull call spread. Now that I'm remembering this, I think we're most of the options activity in Sabra, which is pretty cool. Okay. So speaking of Starbucks and the Iron Condor, let's go back to that real quick. Starbucks is in a range right now. Okay. Let's skip Chipotle for a second, but look at Starbucks. Does anybody see a trend here? Right? The trend is your friend. Let's drop a couple lines in here. Close to 100. What's the bottom here? 90. I mean, it doesn't get any nicer than that. Let me scroll that down a little bit right there. 90. Yep, 190. So before we look at a potential trade here, let's debrief what has happened with Starbucks, why this is going on. Massive gap. What happened on this day? Starbucks snatched the Chipotle commanding officer in the middle of the night and said, here's 113 million bucks. Oh, and by the way, you don't have to come into the office. Oh, and by the way, there's the private jet you can use whenever you want, and the kids and the wife. Next time you go to Starbucks and the barista demands a tip on the iPad for pouring you a cup of coffee, remind that your commanding officer just made 113 million bucks and works from home. I'm kidding. I tip people because I've been on the other side of that. But you know what I'm getting at. But here's the deal with Starbucks. And there was it this morning? I was sitting here drinking my coffee. When was that? Somebody was ranting on Danger TV about danger at Starbucks on CNBC. Look at the chart of Starbucks. It's just crap. I mean, look at this chop, up, down. It's a very cyclical stock. But of late, let's go 6 months or year to date. Yeah, so look at this trend. Crappy, crap. Wow, that's an ugly chart. What do we got to do to fix it? Go steal a successful CEO at Chipotle. Let's actually let's compare Chipotle with Starbucks. And Chipotle is outperforming. So what time is it? Oh, we got a cruise. Let's get going here. We are going to do, how do I remove Chipotle? There we go. So before we look at a new trade on Starbucks, the last one expired for max profit if you held it, or nice profit if you exited at your SOP, not mine. Whenever we trade our Iron Condors, what do I remind you of? Iron Condors are great until they're not. Things don't stay in a range forever. They do this or they do this. They break out of the range. Another reason, another shameless plug, to stick to your SOP. Starbucks will not stay in this range forever. A catalyst will drive them out of the range or down. Does everybody understand that? Give me a vertical head nod that you understand. Iron condors are great until they're not. Okay, now that that's out of the way, it's in a range right now, right? We see support at 90. We see resistance at 100. This is Iron Condor 101 territory. But again, options trader, fighter pilot, in the back of my mind, I'm like, dude, something's going to happen to break that out of the range. But I'm smart because I write my trades down and I have my exit points. Boom. Enough. Let's do what we did last time. Let's go out a couple weeks, right? I think we're going to fade a little bit. Starbucks is in that range, but even if we have a massive pullback in SPX, Starbucks has been ignoring the SPX volatility. Okay, so let's leave that. Where should we place our strikes? Like I've showed you over the past couple days, I don't guess. I do a couple things. The first thing I just did was I looked at the technicals. Even a political science major from South Philly, South Philadelphia, South Jersey can look at a chart and go, I think resistance is at 100 and support's at 90. Done. Let's get a little bit more scientific and look at the money straddle. We are at almost at 95 bucks. Is there a 95 strike down here? Yeah, there is. Let's look at the money straddle out to October 4th. It is $3. So immediately double it. 6. The options market, as I'm talking to you right now, is saying it's probably going to stay below 98 bucks and above 92. How certain of you are that, Wiz? I'm not certain of anything, baby. The probabilities using at the money volatility of it staying between those two is better than half. It's 57%. Should be close to a standard deviation. Remember, we're not going perfectly through the top of that straddle because we're not perfectly at 95 bucks, but it's close enough for government work, isn't it? This is the Pocahontas Elizabeth Warren teepee up here. You have 2 strikes, 98 and 92. Okay. Any questions on how I found this? Oh, thanks. Yes, Chipotle. Let's knock this one out first. Now let's start there, building our iron condor. Remember, and if you're new to this, don't forget, folks. Let me give you a shameless plug. If you're new, and I'm zipping through an iron condor tactic right now, that's because as a member, you joined and you went, Wiz, I'm going to listen to Wiz. I downloaded all my workbooks, I read them, and now I went through my options weapons school training. I sat there and watched Wiz in options weapons school number 4 talk about range bound trades, iron condors. I watched that lecture. I took notes. I know what I'm doing. So when he does them in a live trade brief, he can do it super fast because I already know exactly what he's doing. So if you're sitting here a little lost, it's not your fault. You didn't watch your options weapons school training or you didn't join yet. So now I'm going to cruise, right? Iron condor. Now I'm at step 4 of my trade plan. So up here, boom. Let's go build our iron condor. An iron condor is a range bound trade. We have a bear call spread up here and we have a bull put spread down here. We have a roof and we got a basement. We got a floor. Okay. 98. Let's start it up here at the 98. The 98.99 bear call spread. Okay. 98.99 bear call spread. I would sell a single October 4th 98 call. This would be the conservative iron condor. A little bit more aggressive, and I'll do this in my live trade briefs too. If you're conservative, it's 98.99. A little bit more aggressive would be 97.98, just coming in a buck. You are the pilot in command of your portfolio. I don't know your risk tolerance, what you're trading with, anything about you. You are eavesdropping on what I would potentially do. That's why you need to talk to a registered investment advisor, broker dealer, or somebody clearly smarter than me to look at your stuff. Me, Aggressive, I'd do 97, 98. Little less aggressive, conservative would be 98, 99. That is the bear call spread. Now let's add the basement. It would be a bull put spread. Okay. It was the what? 92, 91? 92. You sell the 92 and you buy the 91. Again, watch your options weapons school training if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Join, watch your options weapons school training. This is why these briefs should go a lot quicker, because you should know what you're doing. And I'm just kind of zipping through stuff here. Okay. So the total credit, it's two credit spreads, right? A roof and a ceiling facing each other. It's a range bound trade. This is the exact opposite of yesterday's trade, folks. The bearish double vertical that we covered needs what? Violent move down. The bullish double vertical that we have on from a couple weeks ago that I closed yesterday was what? Violent move up. Those need direction, up or down. An iron condor needs no direction. Isn't this great? If you just bought Starbucks stock when that dude became the new CEO, hey, the stock's up 10%. I bought the shares because the CEO is going to be awesome. You're losing money right now. It's moving sideways to down. How do you make money when a stock's moving sideways? You become an options trader and you place an iron condor. Does everybody understand that? Okay. So what's the total credit now? Starbucks moving around. It's up at around 30-ish cents or something like that. Now let's go look at the max potential loss. You're risking 71 bucks to potentially make 29. That is a great risk to reward ratio, 1 to 0.41. Now look at the picture, folks. I call an iron condor a football trade. You see this? That's the current price of Starbucks. These are the uprights. Folks, what's beautiful about an iron condor is the football can't get kicked, the stock, and go through a meat slicer and then go outside of both of these spreads. It's physically impossible, man. Even Charlie Brown with what's her name isn't that unlucky, right? So folks, that's why you have two break evens. You have a break even to the upside and you have a break even to the downside. Isn't that awesome? Okay. How do I manage an iron condor? I don't. I manage a bear call spread and a bear put spread. I exit for a profit of 7, 8, 9, 70, 80, 90% profit. Or I maybe eject at double the credit I took in. I do not manage it as an iron condor. Now let me grab a screenshot of this and then I'll take a look at some real world. Ooh, 36 cents. Hold on. Real world contracts. Just up at 36 cents for a second there. Let's do that. Let's try 35 cents. So I'll do 35, but I want to show you something really cool if you're new to iron condors. Starbucks, what's today's date? 9/25. Grab the metrics. Look at that. At 35 cents, you're getting a risk to reward of 1 to 0.54. That's even better. So let's try that one. All right. So for a $100,000 model portfolio, where I'm only deploying 25 grand maybe, let's go look at the contracts that I would do. Okay. Let's go back. I'm going to show you some real world stuff. Like if I was trading $100,000 model portfolio, but only deploying about 25 grand, 50 grand in cash. Let's look at the contracts. Probably, what's that? 75, 75. Okay. So if I did 75 contracts, I would be risking, it's north of my 5 grand max potential loss. You're risking 62 to make 1,400. Okay. But no, you're not. Watch this magic. Matter of fact, when I show you the entire iron condor, you're not even going to be risking, you're probably going to be risking about half of this. Watch. Let's add the bull put spread. Put, sell, buy, 75, 75. And it was 92.91. Sell the 92, buy the 91. So my call sign's whiz, right? Because I'm a wizard. Watch what I did to the risk. Wait, Wiz. If it was $6,000 in risk for the one spread, it's probably $6,000 for the other, right? You're risking $12,000. Are you high? No, I'm not. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. I usually wait until after lunch. Look at what I did to the risk. Is it 12,000 you're risking, or not even half that? Look at that. You're risking 5 to make 2,500. Okay. Risking 5 to make 2,500, folks. It ain't 6,200 in risk. It ain't 12,000. It's below that. You're welcome. How is that magically possible? Like I said, folks, the football, Starbucks can't go, you can't lose on both spreads. Only one of them can be in danger. Okay. Any questions about that? And then obviously, like I said, you're the pilot command. I don't want to risk $5,000, Wiz. Then don't. I'm not you. You be you. What's 50 contracts risk? I don't know. Risking 33 to make 17. Folks, it's up to you. Okay. Now, here's what's interesting. Let's go back to the chart. The options premiums are less than when we did this iron condor and it expired for max profit. Why? Who's going to get a gold star right now as I take a sip of water? Why did the options premiums, why aren't they as meaty? Why did they come in a little bit? Who's going to get the gold star? Neil, Barry, Patrick, Rick, Mark. You guys all got it. Gary, Dennis. Volatility has come in. Ladies and gentlemen, the options market didn't just wake up this morning. You can't sneak into the options market today and go, pay me a lot for this iron condor. The options market's going to laugh at you and go, dude, where you been for the past 3 weeks? We're in a range right now, buddy. You gotta tighten that iron condor if you want to make some money. Folks, you ain't gonna sneak into the market right now. That's why I said, hey, a more aggressive spread would be what? Come in $1. A little bit more risk, a little bit more reward. So I showed you the less aggressive, the more conservative iron condor, which means what? Little less reward. But when, not if, Starbucks busts out of that range, those options premiums are going to get meatier again. Does everybody understand that? If you don't understand that, choke yourself because you haven't watched your options weapons school training. You got it, Simone? Or yeah. Good. Learning, education has occurred. If something okay, gray, don't need a gray color. If something gets into a range, the market knows it's in a range. Whoa. Okay, man, we're in a range right now, Wiz. You ain't gonna get paid a lot. That's why this one was super juicy. We had a bear call spread back. So we started with what? I can't stand Starbucks personally, folks. I started after this gap up. I said, dude, the economics in Starbucks doesn't change overnight. A new CEO doesn't come in and go, wave a magic wand and go, everything's perfect. It's just like Chipotle, you're printing money. That doesn't happen. So I said what? I shot a bear call spread that first week. It was a little bit of a nail biter, but it finished for max profit. And then the following week, I said, well, looks like we're probably going to, and that was a juicy iron condor. And now this one's a little bit medium, right? If I have my bias, it is to the downside. The converse, we're running out of time, folks, but the converse is happening with Chipotle, right? Gap down. Oh my God, we lost our CEO. Did the economics change in Chipotle when the dude said, hey, I'm not coming in this morning. I'm going to run Starbucks. They gave me a jet. Did the leadership team around that CEO go, oh my God, close the stores? What are we going to do? Or did they open the stores that morning and it got packed by FAU college students in Boca? So look at this was we have this trade on right now. I would and look at what it did. It's all if you roll this chart upside down, it looks exactly what Starbucks is doing inverted. Look at that and then look at Starbucks. It's the exact it literally is the exact opposite of Starbucks. Okay. So we ran out of time, but I would get long-term bullish on Chipotle. We have a 2.5 week trade on with Chipotle that's up 17%, close to $2,000. Long-term bullish out to December of 2026. And you know what? I think it's time to close this Q trade. Let's manage this one. I haven't looked at the Qs. You know what? We got into this thing back here. It was a perfect shot. And it's not a bad return, man. Because I think we did have some record highs, but this was a massive tech rally here, folks. I'm going to close it, man. Nobody's gone broke taking a profit, or you could do this. Let's go look at that trade. Oh, you can? I didn't know that, Rick. Let me do that in a second. I'll look at that. I did not know you can convert that. So folks, the trade that we covered on the Qs when it was imploding, I have 10 contracts. You could close half. I'm going to close 5 and let the rest of them ride. But I think we're going to fade. I mean, making 334%, $2,700 in a couple weeks. Again, live trade, $29.95 is your annual membership, folks. So I'm going to close this one because I think we are going to fade, man, from this rally. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to go up a little bit since we're popping. All right, service error. Well, I'm going to try and close this trade, but I'll post that I'm closing it to the members. I would take the profits in this one, folks. 330, $2,700. Let me show you how we do this at TOPGUN Options. If you're new, I'll go over to the hunters, since even the lifetime people own hunters. Closing QQQ double vert for 330%. Was it $2,700? I need to put at everyone. So when I put at everyone, everybody gets an alert on their app. At everyone. Closing double, it was a bullish double. Well, the only double vertical we have on the Qs is a bullish one, but I'll still write bullish. Closing bullish, double vert for 330. What was that in 2 weeks? I think it was 3 weeks ago. Looking at the chart, whenever we opened it. I will put that in the trade alerts thread. Remember, we have different threads in here. This is why you want to join the hunters, folks. This is the investment club. This is where you get all this stuff and post that in the Max Afterburner. Trade alerts. Closing QQQ bullish double vertical. There we go. Trade alerts. All right, folks. Any questions, concerns? Oh, by the ways, I wanted to get long-term bullish on Chipotle. We are out of time because I got a ton of stuff to do tomorrow. So I think at the beginning of the brief we had 17. We did. Phones buzzed a couple times in the brief, so a couple more people got their annual membership. But we're going to close, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to do solo Amazon. Solo Amazon's a gateway drug to join TOPGUN Options. It's only $97 a month, $970 a year or something like that. It is not part of Full Throttle, folks. Solo Amazon is called Solo Amazon. It's out there on its own. So get your annual membership. I've closed 2 trades this week. What was the one yesterday? $4,000. This one was $2,700. So over 6, close to $7,000 in closed trades this week, and they were placed recently, right? So showed you in the span of a couple weeks, and those are easy trades. $7 grand. I paid for 2 years of an annual membership in the past couple weeks, folks. If you can't see that performance is pretty damn cool, and you should join Top Gun Options, I don't know what else to tell you. All right, let me post this in the Hunters, the Iron Condor, new Starbucks. Iron Condor, it's already in there. All right. Vol has come in, so pricing isn't super premium. Come in $1 if you want a little more premium. All right, let me post the 2 trades. There's the one. There's the next one. They're right there at everyone. So everybody got that alert, rate in the trade alert thread right now. Questions? Scott, Wiz, is my login ID the same for solo to full throttle? You bet, Scott. It's one uniform login to get into full throttle and solo. Yep. Yeah, once you're in, you're in. I mean, here's all your memberships right here. AR, primary, solo. There's some free resources. Ignore that. And then OWS, Options Weapons School, down there with all your training. Yep. Download your workbooks right there. And then, yep, start watching your training. Any other, let me post that in the lifetime. Groups, Max Afterburner, trade alerts, new Starbucks, Iron Condor. You're welcome. Yeah, it's again, it's all of this was free. There are people that even charge you. The handful of other places that do this type of thing, they charge you like $100 for the week for access or something. I'm like, what? Vol has come. Maybe I'll start doing that. Vol has come in. Premiums less at the money straddle. Bring wings in $1 if you want more premium. Trade alerts, boom. So there you go. Now, if you're not in the Hunters or Lifetime, I'll send out a replay email right now as well to as soon as I post it to the member page. Okay. Awesome. I appreciate that, Scott. I do my best to try and make them all great briefs, man. I love doing this. This was so funny. If I didn't have Top Gun Options, I'd be doing this anyway. I'd be sitting here doing everything I just did. I'd be doing on my own, but I love doing it with you guys and gals and a great squadron, man. Somebody asked yesterday about Lifetime. Maybe in a couple weeks, I'll open some Lifetime memberships. It's our elite. Obviously, you don't pay for anything ever again except just an annual maintenance fee. 275 members in our Lifetime group, man. We are a tight-knit squadron. I've been trading snipers for the past couple days because I've been busy with some other stuff. I might sit here and trade some snipes today, though. But we place all our stuff in here, and it's a very interactive group. If you're just want to join Solo Amazon, I'll talk to you tomorrow about that. Or if you're doing the monthly full throttle, you have your own little poor man's group back here. It's called the Ready Room. So if you got any questions for me in between briefs, join me in the Ready Room. Renato, microdosing, what does it do for you? It'll save and change your life. There's my pitch, since I'm way over on time. You have got to start microdosing. And we have our own microdosing products We have morning brief and night trap. So and I do 5 days on, 2 days off. I take a morning brief first thing in the morning, and then let me give you the link to this, and I'll give you a discount code. There's the link. I cannot. It's always 30. If you use the code always 30, please don't post this on social media or all over the place. It's my friends and family 30% discount. I take a night trap about an hour before I go to bed. I sleep like a baby. I don't wake up in the middle of the night. I don't wake up with a sleep hangover. I jump out of bed. The Maverick Mind products have saved and changed my life. However, I can't in this 1 minute give you the full brief on microdosing, folks. You have got to just Google it. It's all the rage right now. Let me see if I have a microdosing article handy. They say drugs make them better at work. Are they tripping? So here's an article from the Wall Street Journal about finance and business professionals who are microdosing. Let me give you that one. That's a good one. Where's the moms one? Moms, women, microdosing, Wall Street Journal. There it is. The working woman's newest life hack, magic mushrooms. Folks, this is the Wall Street effing Journal. So, Renato, real quick answer. Microdosing, the term microdose means subperceptual, meaning you shouldn't feel anything. A microdose is exactly that. It's a small fraction of either a psilocybin mushroom or, where's my Maverick Mind bottle? Various other types of mushrooms that are 100% legal. If you are microdosing psilocybin mushrooms, technically you're a felon in this country. Maverick Mind does not have psilocybin mushrooms. We're not that stupid. However, Uncle Sam, in its infinite wisdom in the 70s and 60s, when they said, oh, those magic mushroom psilocybin ones are illegal, we shut up pretty quickly because there's a whole bunch of other cool mushrooms that do the same thing, if not more than psilocybin. So we remain quiet. So what are in our microdosing products are 100% legal. You're welcome. So the only way that I know that I'm microdosing is when I'm in traffic on I-95 at 3 in the afternoon and I don't want to get out of my car and kill everybody. I'm like, I'm actually at peace right now. So if you feel something when you're microdosing, you probably took too many. Just take one next time. But it's so funny when I introduce this to friends. They're like, oh my God, am I going to like jump off the roof? It's like, oh my God, the government did a great job with this. It's a vitamin, folks. These are 100% natural. Look at all the ingredients in our Maverick Mind product. I feel fantastic. When I have a bad day, it's not super bad. It's less bad. That's how I know I'm microdosing. So Google the term microdosing online and spend the next cup of coffee reading about it. And then go buy your Maverick Mind products and it'll help save and change your life. Okay? Good. Awesome. Yep, microdoses.com. And yeah, morning brief. Like I said, I do there. Oh, there's all the ingredients right there. 100% legal, lion's mane, cordyceps, ginseng. This thing, man, I just feel lighter. And you can take a look at the printout, the certificate of analysis of what the tryptamines that are in there, and it's good, baby. And that was another company a lot of TGO members got to invest in, which is awesome. Microdoses. All right. Yeah, I just put it in there. You should be okay if you have to wait till this afternoon to buy. Yeah. There's probably about 15 memberships left. You should be okay by this afternoon. Tomorrow morning is solo Amazon. So yeah, you should be okay if you have to wait to buy this afternoon, Jill. So no problem. But yeah, here's the link. Do the annual, folks. I just showed you how we just closed a double vertical yesterday, and we closed on the S&P 500, and we closed one on the Qs just now for about close to $7,000 in profit in a couple weeks. And if you followed me on those trades, like, all right, that made sense, why he did it and how it was mapped out, that's a great start. I'll take you from that point through your options weapons school training, and you will be a Jedi master soon enough. Quick reminder, folks, I tell people, we've had people here for 15 years, which is great. I love those folks, but folks, you don't go to Top Gun forever. You put the patch on your shoulder, you went to the mountain, you got the knowledge, you go back to the fleet. As a businessman, of course, I love you here forever, but as an instructor, nothing makes my heart smile more than somebody saying, dude, been here for a couple of years, I'm good. I know what I'm doing, and I'm heading to the fleet on my own. I mail them a Top Gun options patch. There you go. There's your Top Gun options patch. But it's funny because most of those people end up coming back because they're like, you know what, I missed the rants, I missed the strategic briefs, I missed it. I can do it on my own, but I missed the trade ideas and the camaraderie and stuff like that. All right, I got to go. I'll get the replay posted here shortly. Solo Amazon tomorrow. No more full throttle stuff, folks. So we'll be talking about trading the Death Star tomorrow. Okay, it's not part of full throttle. If you want to join Solo Amazon, make sure you join me tomorrow. You too, Renato. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you're hedged, which we are. We hedged yesterday. Fights on. Namaste. And Basi Basi. Wiz out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.